It's Newsom science, baby! Ha!
We got some Newsom updates from Gizmodo. Headline here: pain enthusiast Gavin Newsom joins Truth Social to call out Republican lies. Pain enthusiast, Basil.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. That's an interesting description. Here's what the article says. California Governor Gavin Newsom is officially a truther.
Okay.
Do you remember we said how Trump sort of co-opted the word truth and truther and all that?
The genius of truther as a social media name goes deeper than just sort of the cringy idea that when you their version of tweet is called truth,
right?
But it's totally takes over the terms, and now we can call Gavin Newsom a truther. This is awesome.
It is a co-opting of the independent community of critical thinking people who created content that were loosely self-labeled or self-identified as truthers over the years. And now it's just a social media thing, which is sad to see. Yeah. But
and a Trump one at that.
It's a Trump one at that. Yeah, thanks, Trump. Good job, buddy. You completely took over the thing, which is no surprise.
Again,
it's in his message.
Move.
Yeah,
we will launch a new age.
Yeah, clearly by hijacking old stuff. In a tweet on Thursday, the 54-year-old lawmaker said he decided to join Truth Social, Donald Trump's clunky Twitter clone, to call out Republican lies. Quote, "This could get interesting," Newsom added. Newsom had racked up 9,300 followers on Truth. When Gizmodo checked on Friday morning, the governor's account featured just a single post, a video of him looking straight into the camera and calling out a so-called, quote, red state murder problem.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Hold on, I gotta sneeze.
Yeah, I wonder if he's sort of including the homicide rates of Democrat-run states or municipalities.
That gets brought up. Quote, "I know we're on the platform in search for truth, but the truth is I've not been able to find a simple explanation for the fact that we have a red state murder problem," Newsom said. Quote, 8 of the top 10 states with the highest murder rates happen to be red states. And then it shows the tweet there, which is interesting. It's like he joined Truth Social, but then they're reporting on his tweet telling everybody that he joined Truth Social. Though Newsom didn't cite any specific studies.
I don't think that's right. I don't think that is factual.
What? What he's talking about with the states?
The 8 out of 10.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's Newsom science, man.
It's a truth. He truthed it,
man. It's true. Now, though Newsom didn't cite any specific studies, The Hill notes he probably pulled that figure from a March report by left-of-center think tank Third Way titled, quote, "The Red State Murder Problem." End quote. According to that report, per capita murder rates were 40% higher in states won by Donald Trump compared to those won by Joe Biden. Those figures are generally in line with other estimates by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Yeah, the most trusted and highly confident group out there is the CDC. Only 2 of the U.S.'s most populous cities are reportedly located within the states with the highest murder rates. Those statistics fly in the face of the general narrative of truth and in right-wing media presenting Democratic-run regions as lawless murder holes. Quote, "The question is simple," Newsom added. "What are the laws and policies in those states that are leading to such carnage?" By the way, Gizmodo, do a little better on your grammar there. They forgot a parentheses.
So I found this list. And okay, the list. I could see.
Yeah, it's a huge list of just places. But I went through that list, and you go from the top, and it's kind of like, okay, it's Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican.
So I'm on a different list here. I'm just on the Wikipedia here.
Yeah, you're on the Wikipedia.
Of intentional homicide rates by state or territory.
Sure.
And by this list, he is correct. 8 out of 10. But do you know what the number one highest murder rate in the U.S. is? Which state it would be?
I want to say my gut reaction is Illinois, but it's probably not Illinois.
Number 1 is Washington, D.C. The District of Columbia has the number 1 murder rate in the country in 2020.
Wow, it's not even a state, just a region.
No, I know. It's hilarious, though.
It gets better here. Fellow truther posts commenting on Newsom's arrival were definitely interesting. While most of the posts viewed by Gizmodo denied the governor's claims that and cited studies showing higher rates of crime in democratically run cities, others ironically called for Newsom to be deplatformed. Oh, it's ironic that they would call for Newsom to be deplatformed from Truth Social. It's like, okay.
Got him.
Yeah. Don't focus on the part about other studies showing higher rates of crime in democratically run cities. Let's just move right on to the part where people are saying deplatform Newsom off Truth Social.
Yeah, you also got to do per capita to get that ranking, because if you go total murders, California is number 1.
California number 1. Number 1, baby. Quote, "Get this trash off the site," one user with one of the most liked comments in Newsom's comments read. Newsom did receive a warmer welcome from an unexpected figure in a tweet. Sorry, I mean a truth. Wow, this article, Gizmodo, really leaning in. Trump Media and Technology Group CEO and Trump's former human doormat, Devin Nunes, thanked Newsom for joining the platform. Quote, "Please welcome the governor of California at RealGovNewsom40 to Truth Social." Nunes wrote before retruthing Newsom's post. Oh, gosh. Oh,
retruth, baby.
Did you retruth? Oh, my gosh.
I think this is actually a pretty good. This is a pretty good strategy for the Democrats. You know,
yeah. Well,
if Trump's trying to take the word truth and have truther and truth the truths with his truthies, you should get a bunch of Democrats on there, and then you can say that they truthed things. I could see this working out well.
Well, this is what's interesting is seeing the debates. Really, from the top down, when you talk about Twitter, well, I guess Elon received the victory thing there with the purchase, so I think he's going to take over. So we'll see what happens with the takeover actually taking place. But
talking about Twitter,
yeah, I'm talking about Twitter.
Okay,
you know, Twitter being that sort of what is perceived to be and has been more. I don't know, accommodating to leftist or progressive views or Democrats, if you want to just be blunt about it. You know, driving that division or that conversation onto Truth Social is interesting. But you know, and for Newsom to be leading that charge, last episode I think we brought up the possibility of them setting up Michelle Obama to be the next president, 2024, coming in, replace Biden. Newsom does have a sort of, I don't know, kind of a Hail Mary chance. And I feel like he's sort of the pick by China. If
for
China,
president?
Yes. I think if China really had their way, Newsom can, maybe not in 2024, but definitely in the cards to wiggle his way into the presidency. But I say that too with, just because today's theme is China, Newsom and his connections to China are pretty open and public. I just want to remind everybody, if you weren't around in prior episodes, in prior months and years even, back in 2020, at the start of the pandemic, the LA Times reported this story here. Newsom's secretive $1 billion mask deal with Chinese automakers sparks bipartisan concerns. He spent $1 billion and gave it to a Chinese electric car manufacturer to make masks for us. And by the way, I think I mentioned it maybe on a previous episode at some point, because we had all these masks that were printed and brought over here. And I had a neighbor who was like, hey, do you want some masks? A buddy of mine gave me like 4 boxes of masks. They're like N95 masks. And I'm like, oh, really? Let's take a look. I look at the box and it says Newsom on the side. It had like Newsom's whole name thing on there. So it's like, all right, we overflooded California with masks and gave Chinese company $1 billion to do it. Nice work there. And just a couple highlights from that article from 2020. A spokesperson for BYD, which is the company in China, referred all questions about negotiations over the purchase of masks to Newsom's office. So Newsom is literally the puppet for China, this Chinese company. They're like, oh, just talk to Newsom.
And they didn't even deliver all the masks?
No, I don't think so. There was a problem.
They didn't deliver them, or there was something wrong with them. I forget what it was.
There was a problem with. Here it is. So BYD's work in California. Problems with some of the company's electric buses were chronicled in a Times investigation in 2018. The former chief counsel of a computing company said in a 2013 letter to Long Beach officials that BYD had, quote, a history of over-promising and under-delivering. Workplace conditions have also come under scrutiny. California safety officials investigated the BYD facility 4 times between the summer of 2014 and last spring, according to records reviewed by the Times, alleging 20 different workplace violations. Among the violations alleged at the Lancaster electric car plant last year were errors in the proper use of respirators, safety masks for its employees. So the company that was, making workplace violations with masks are the people that received $1 billion from Gavin Newsom to make masks.
Yeah, that's great. It's awesome.
Great job there, Newsom. So that's the guy, the China tie there. And if you were talking a little bit about the with the tax, or not the tax thing, the gas prices, pause. The gas tax pause. I want to know what's going to happen because Newsom's up for re-election in the fall here, and stories like this are popping up. This is LA Times headline here: look up in the sky, it's an air taxi, and they're coming to Los Angeles. Air taxis are coming.
Is this actually happening? We'd seen like product, pitch videos and stuff for stuff like this. Is it real?
Adam Goldstein, he's a pitch for Angelinos. It's actually, there's a competition. So Adam Goldstein is the chief executive of Archer Aviation in Palo Alto. And he's promising, flying vehicles by, I think, 2024 is when he wanted to. Oh, and this is interesting here. The City Department of Transportation released a report last year looking at the myriad potential regulations the flying taxis could face relating to noise levels, permits, and how the overhead flights could affect the communication below. That followed a 2020 report with the World Economic Forum. Principles of the Urban Sky, outlining 7 principles that should guide policy, including noise, equity of access, and connection to other transportation modes. So this has been in the works with the WEF, leading the charge, or at least being the onlookers of compliance here. Which is, I'm curious, are they going to use regular old, gas and oil for this stuff, or is it going to be like all biofuels or something, because so far what this guy wants to do is to sell the vehicles along with, providing the service. It says here the industry is going to launch with the crawl, walk, run approach, where there will be certain routes that will become popular. We'll expand to multiple routes, and then into the 2030s, you'll start to see a lot more vehicles up in the air. So the 2030s is allegedly when we're going to have consistent air taxis.
Oh my gosh!
And yes, this guy Goldstein wants to sell.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty cool when it comes to taking risks and adrenaline junkiness. But hopping in an Uber air taxi in LA sounds like literally the most dangerous possible thing.
Yeah, and there's competition. There's Whisk Aero, which is another company trying to offer air taxis. Whisk this is in the article, Whisk is backed by Boeing, which invested $450 million and wanted to take things a step further by going pilotless. Although it has yet to target a date or city for launch, it has been working for a decade to expand the uses of various forms of aircraft. So I bring this up because LA is being sort of lifted up as the location where this is going to come first, and given that it's in California, one of the biggest cities in California, along with San Francisco and the world, I it'll be interesting because Newsom promised all these electric vehicles and everything. Is he going to do the same thing with these sky taxis?
I bet they will. I bet there'll be electric.
That's kind of
There's
my
no
thinking
way
too.
They'll definitely
But
be electric.
I don't want to take us down too far down the rabbit hole here. But Newsom is on Truth Social, so we can all rest easy now.
Well, it promises to be entertaining at the very least. It'll be entertaining.
Yeah.